Welcome back to Rocky Mountain Gardens. And oh my goodness, guys, look at this darling cup that I found for my hot cocoa bar at Target. Wow, I've been looking for a gingerbread sort of figural cup for a while. And the drink I am having this morning is called pomegranate zinger tea. And it is simply delicious. It is made by Bigelow, and I really recommend it. It has a very nice fruity flavor. You do not need any sugar in it, and it's very satisfying. So I thought I would sip on it while I'm doing my project here this morning, which is I'm going to be taking this beautiful pine nightstand that I bought when I lived in Germany at a flea market. And I had to strip it. It was covered with milk paint, which is really horrible to try to remove with strip chemicals. But I did get it off. I had to do a lot of scraping and brought it down to its natural pine color. Well, I finished it by the recommendation of a friend with linseed oil, and I hand rubbed that linseed oil into the pores of the wood. But over time, it has turned this orangey color that I really don't care for. So I'm going to try to rectify that today. I've already removed the hardware from the pieces, and I'm going to do something with them as well when I finish my first step here. And let's get started on that project. This is really a step into the unknown for me. I have never used any of these finishing waxes on my furniture, particularly the colored ones. This one is done by Dixie Belle. I bought it on Amazon, and it is the color Grunge Gray. And I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Here you can see the color. And then I did also buy on Amazon one of these waxing brushes. And this is a little intimidating. I'm a little bit afraid, but we're going to jump right into it here and see how it works. I also have shop towels to wipe the wax off and buff it after I have it applied. Let's start with this side of my nightstand. So I'm simply gonna swirl around my waxing brush. Like I said, this is a big experiment for me, so let's just jump in and see how it goes. Looks a little scary, doesn't it? I started applying the wax with a swirling motion, and you'll see that later I actually began moving the wax with the grain of the wood. I'm not sure which is best. And then, of course, there is the trick of wiping away the wax in a sort of even motion or application. Here you could really see the difference between the waxed areas on the edges here and the door that I have not yet done. I am liking it with the wax much, much better. If you like what you're seeing on my channel, you might want to think about subscribing so that you can see more of the projects and decor, home renovations and gardening, houseplants, all the things that I do on my channel. I like to do anything related to gardens and home here at Rocky Mountain Gardens. And by the way, this is part of a Flipping Friday challenge that is hosted by Jamie at Board or Bananas. And we want to say thanks to Jamie for hosting this each month. And guys, there are going to be links in my description box for Jamie's 2 channels as well as the playlist where you could watch other creators and what they have done with their old pieces or their thrifted finds. All right, now this was a very small piece of furniture, but I wanted to show you, it looks like I've hardly used any of this lovely wax. I am really liking the effect of taking away that orangey tone to the wood. And you know, I have 2 more pieces that I refinished in Germany that are pine as well, and I may try this on them because I've been trying to think of a way of doing a refinish on them, but since I had stripped them and worked so hard to get them down to the wood, the original wood grain, I just, you know, it would break my heart to actually paint them. I don't know, we'll have to see. But I am liking this finish. I think it looks very farmhouse, and I really like the way the wax highlights imperfections in the wood, like the knots that you can see here. The wax really goes in to this crack, for example, really goes in and just brings out that look. And I like that look of imperfection because this is a very old antique piece. And, you know, I like the wood grain that is very visible now. And I think it's something that I'm going to try again, like I said. So stay tuned for that. But now let's go and tackle the hardware. If you have been following me here on YouTube, you know I really like this product called Rub and Buff. And I'm going to use it today. I bought a new color. I usually have been using Silver Leaf, but I want the hardware for my nightstand to be kind of a little duller of a color. So I bought this pewter. It's just called pewter, and I'm going to start applying it to the pieces of my hardware, and then we'll see how they look when they're done and when I have them installed on my furniture. It's very easy to apply, and you only use a tiny bit to cover a large area. You simply can brush it on and then leave it for a bit, and then you buff it away. You can shine it up to as a higher gloss if you like, but you don't have to do that. You can make it have the appearance you wish for your project. So I was trying to keep from getting the rub and buff on my fingers by using a Q-tip to hold my pieces. But guys, it actually is easily washed off with just plain old soap and water. All right, guys, so I'm going to take this little screw or bolt that I'm going to be installing and just buff it up a bit. Make it look a little bit shiny. So it doesn't look a lot different. It just goes from being slightly dull to be having a little sheen to it, and I like that look. I don't like super shiny, just a little sheen. Okay, and then we'll do this knob. Here's my finished piece, and I have to say, I think my final decision is that I like this better with the gray wax. And next, I'm going to show you 2 choices. One is the before and one is the after. And I would love it if you would vote and tell me which one you prefer. Since I'm considering doing this to another piece of furniture, I really would like your opinion about how it looks. So to give you a little bit of a close-up, there's the hardware. I do like that so much better than that sort of old brass look. And Then here's my top. And guys, I actually came back after I finished waxing it. And you know, one of the tricks I have to say for this project is to get an even coat of wax over your entire piece. So you don't want the top to look darker than the sides, for example. And what I did is I noticed that that was true in this case. And so I went back over, because I had only let it set for about 2 hours. So I went back over and wiped away more of the gray wax to give it a closer color, I guess you would say, to the rest of the piece here that you can see. And I do think it looks better now. It's a little dark here where I'm filming, but it's about the same color of gray. The orange tones have been reduced, so it's not as orangey as it was. And I really like the way the hardware turned out with the pewter rub and buff. So I understand with this sort of treatment that you do have to let it cure before you use it. And so that's what I'll be doing, setting it aside here in my bedroom and giving it that time to cure. And then I have a new looking piece of furniture from something I've had for a while. So my friends, which of these two do you prefer? The left side has the original color before, and then on the right you can see my finished waxed version of the nightstand. It's on the right, so that's the after. Please vote down below in the comments and let me know which one you liked the most. And that will help me decide whether I want to go forward with more of this wax treatment on other pieces that I have. Thanks so much for stopping by now. Have a great day. Bye-bye.